I believe we are a go. Alright, let's go. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. First.
Success.
I don't know if anyone is watching my camera work. I don't even know if it was any good. I have no idea. It's just.
We'll see the YouTube comments.
Yeah, it was fine. Just make sure you click on the players as well.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Click the items. That's what you need to do.
Start?
Have you started the stream?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
There's some tilt in the YouTube chat.
I mean,
It's like the YouTube chat.
No tilt in the YouTube chat.
It's like, oh, we have fans already.
yeah, I mean, look, that's just part and parcel of what we are. Whereas,
Yeah, looked at the schedule, can't find their next game. Can someone let me know when they're playing? Can't wait for them to win the groin. Okay.
I love how Twitch. We're so famous that we have Twitch memes on our YouTube channel. We know we made it now. I like the Milo one as well. Anyway, sorry.
Speaking about memes, we got to see another Hanju Rabbit.
Entire team ban.
Yeah, he was a bit to the right on that line. It wasn't really a Hanju Ravage. He just.
It's because Nate blinded him away. Pushed him away. So that was a pretty good for Nate.
Yeah, let's give Nate the credit.
Oh man,
Is it a halfway
Hanju
Hanju
Hero
Rabbit?
Land is the way to go, Rick.
I don't even think so.
5 seconds, Morty. It'll be fine.
sorry, I made a mistake with the lobby.
What was that?
I
Sorry?
made a mistake with the lobby, so I have to remake.
Oh, sad.
Oh, sad.
What happened?
They're just remaking the lobby. In the meantime, can we do like the really quick recap of the last game? Do you think it was won or lost in the draft? Essentially, do you think that Dazzle just was never going to work out? Wasn't executed well.
Oh, I thought it could have worked out well. Although, should we just discuss this when the game starts? So because are you going to record this part or?
Wait, what's happening? Are we leaving the lobby?
Yeah, new lobby.
Milo told me to turn my volume down, but Fred says he can't hear me on the stream now. Also, if Fred is here, shouldn't Fred be streaming? He's the god.
He is the god.
Although maybe he needs a break.
What happened?
Are
Oh
we
right, it
leaving
wasn't.
this, or
Yeah, we're all in a new lobby now. I actually don't know what happened, but yeah.
can someone invite me to the new lobby? Otherwise, I could just stream my own Archon ranked games.
You can right click, like for example, my name and just join.
Slightly better. Okay.
The NN I have to deal with.
Oh, Fred said he can take it. Well, I've already started. It's okay. Well, that's the most I've ever seen Darryl type.
That is true.
I think it's pretty mad.
Yeah.
About how delayed everything is.
Oh, by how late every game is. I mean,
How delayed everything is today because he had plans to do some FF raids afterwards.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's not my problem.
it's only 10 and it's 8:30 was when the start time was. We're like max half an hour behind. It's not that big.
Alright, are we all in?
I believe we are. Let's start it.
Oh, was it? It was supposed to be at 8.
Okay, can we start?
Oh, that was Hanju. That wasn't. Yeah, no.
We're
Alright, let's
missing a
go.
lot of people. Okay.
That's right, let's start it. They can follow us on the YouTube stream, the Domestic AU. Start the game, Molo. Start the game, Molo. Okay, hopefully everything's working, and we've got it right. Does look like it's a dire first pick. Excellent. Well done, Milo. Thank you for all your hard work.
We did it.
Actually, the most
Radiant
stressful
team
part of
ban.
making these lobbies, getting it wrong. It's happened, what, 3 times now?
Oh, interesting. The bans. It was previously a
Dire team
Grimstrike
ban.
ban. So what happened? Was that just because we had to remake, or
Whatever.
interesting? Anyway, so in last time we
You really
it
gotta
was
pick a hero.
before the
You got 10
before the
seconds
remake
left.
it was a Grimstrike, but now it's a PLOG.
You better pick your hero. 5 seconds.
Yep, that PL was a menace to deal with. Right
Yeah.
from the bed.
I mean, I don't think anyone expected them to first phase pick the PL.
Yeah.
And it was always properly banned out in the second phase, right? So now that he's played it and showed it in the first phase, it's another thing to think about. I do think they let the Ember through in the first phase too. Is that right?
Yep.
And they chose to pick the PL, which is like pretty interesting because I think Tim's undefeated on the Ember, but I guess this is Darryl. This is a different level of mid player. But
Oh, he lost on Ember the other day against NC.
okay, got it.
I think Darryl feels no Ember spirit.
It's still a crazy
because
win,
they
right?
didn't.
Radiant team ban.
Because what they did was they actually banned it in the last phase.
Yeah.
Tim's team, and I actually thought
Come on,
like
Dire
you know
team,
you guys
pick
made
it
the point that
good.
Ember was actually a really good pick in that game.
Surprised he didn't pick the phase 2.
Yeah.
Come on, Radiant.
The Ember would have carried early game and clear illusions.
Would it have then? Because Cray would have had an easier lane, right? And
Oh yeah, that's
that rider can
true.
very easily catch Ember. So I don't know how much that would have actually changed.
Go,
the game.
Dire team. Pick him up.
I feel like it would have made more impact than the Dazzle.
Yeah.
And look at this. You see the Medusa coming out in the first phase.
Dire
Again,
team
one of those
ban.
second phase
I think
bans.
today we played some Dota, and Tim was saying he wasn't playing because he was doing some strat preparation and research and stuff, and I think it really has shown. The
10 seconds to
PL
pick your
and
hero,
Medusa
you
are two really
Radiant
good picks
team
against
ban.
Wraith King.
I mean, it's pretty surprising that both teams have shown their 1 and 3 in the first 2 picks, right? Really goes to show that they really want to secure, their gameplay, their style of playing, and it's just.
I think it's because
Oh,
Not Today
Dire
Old
Team
Friend
ban.
does really well on the Wraith King. I actually haven't seen Damien play that many other carries, to be completely honest with you guys.
Yeah.
While Medusa is really strong against Wraith King. Wraith King, as we've seen, mainly relies on Chop Chop, while Medusa has so much HP that you can't really Chop Him down.
It really feels like teams
10
kind
seconds,
of
team
favored
ban.
that Wraith King pick twice now and had a plan both times.
Exactly.
Dire team
That
ban.
kind of unfortunately limits. Unfortunately, that shows if it's because of a drafting thing and hero pools and stuff. Unfortunately, it shows your how hero pool can really impact where the game goes.
For sure. Can I ask
Yeah, definitely.
panel what tools Darryl's team needs to build to deal with playing into a Deucer and a Tide? That's pretty full on team fight there, right?
I mean, they have picks like a Wraith King and a Slaughter here, so I feel like that's just safe lane and off. As much as I'd like to see Drow come out to counter a Medusa, that's to be way too greedy. I guess Sniper's the other one, but I still feel like it is way too greedy. With the amount of farm these heroes are people.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah. And Damien really needs, he always finds the farm, but he does need that space, right? And I think in that last game he was a bit more active, and it really impacted his farm. Like in the games that we've seen him play, he's come out, top net worth consistently, but he's kind of been absent, whereas he was forced to join those fights that last game. Whereas
Rick, there's only 10 seconds
Jimmy
left to
got
pick
that
a hero.
space, and he really paid off. If they
5
pick the
seconds,
sniper
Marty.
or the
It'll be
drow,
fine.
I don't think Damien gets that luxury, right? And
Yeah,
one would
most
argue
definitely.
maybe the
Radiant
issue last
team
game also
pick.
was that Dazzle had to go and spend a lot of time farming, and maybe didn't
Yeah.
get to keep that momentum going.
Come on, Dire.
You see Stu's Lich coming out.
Yeah, I mean,
Does have mana drain.
Dire
That's
team
not a
ban.
Okay. I was gonna say anti-mage. What a good pick, but then I realized. But at the same time, you can probably run a mid anti-mage
oh,
if
Daddy's
you're
not
against
playing,
Medusa.
So
And it's
Good old
blocked.
Devos.
It's banned.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I should pay attention to the drafts.
You really got to pick a hero. You got 10 seconds left.
I mean, I remember playing with NG and
It's
He
also
got banned as well.
You better pick your hero. 5 seconds.
I mean, all it shows is Lakshman, your drafting skills are as good as Tim's. So.
Come on, Radiant team, you gotta pick him right.
Void Spirit.
Oh, interesting.
Why are you guys so wowed by that? Like, don't we need kind of like a playmaking mid to find the space for Dusa? Like, isn't that perfectly what they need?
That's true.
Yeah, we have seen Tim play it a couple of times.
Feels pretty. Like, I mean, I've seen him more than a couple of times. It's been one of his go-to picks lately.
10 seconds
Oh,
to
he's
pick
just
your
been practicing
hero.
the skill was banned. He's still on Ember, which is generally his better spirits.
Yeah, 5 seconds left now.
There's also Lesh as well, and I feel like if you want to push
Dire
objectives,
team
Lesh is
ban.
always one of the strong heroes. Oh, Invoker.
I mean,
They're not really on that timer. They don't have to push objectives. They can just let Medusa get fat, right?
But now,
Do you think this will be a Quas Wex or an Exalt Voker?
Oh, interesting. Probably cute Quaswex.
Yeah.
Oh man, Rick,
They don't really have
10
set up for
seconds
the
left to
Exalt
pick a hero.
and Quaswex is a bit more tempo. They need to play high tempo on
5
Radiant.
seconds, Morty, and it'll be fine.
and Wraith King, like, obviously not Odusa, but Wraith King does scale well enough, right? Like, they're not going to be short for damage. They'll need.
I mean, he scales, but he's not going to out.
No,
he's
he's
not
not.
a
What I mean is
hyper
that you don't
carry
need to
like
go necessarily like a damage invoker, right? Like, you could.
Yeah. Like if they're trying to play a strat where they want to push these towers down early and beat the Medusa timing, they definitely have damage for it.
Can I
Especially with
ask?
the setup.
Who won the? Who got to pick the pick in this game? Was it 100 Friends decided to go first pick, or did?
Yeah. Tim tries first pick.
I'm just really surprised that. I don't know. I would have really wanted to secure the tide for Ryan. I just feel like it's he's been very strong on it. It's been a very strong hero in TD.
Whew, Radiant team ban.
I can kind of.
So
I can kind of see why, in a sense that having first pick on Dire gives them the ability to counter the first two picks of
Dire
Radiant.
team
So
ban.
when they saw the Wraith King and Slardar, it lets them just pick whatever they want now. So the Medusa and the PL, for example. Or else, I actually would have thought maybe the Medusa would have been banned, because Medusa is really strong against Wraith
Whew,
King.
Radiant team ban.
I just want to make the point about the Invoker. Like, Invoker at end stage of the game still has damage. It's really just the first, let's say 20 minutes, 25, really how much it dictates what you do. And I think your Invoker is much more useful in a ganking position if you're Quaswex by far.
Yeah, 5 seconds left now.
I mean, it's really interesting that they're both kind of picking their pos fours. We know that Nathan's pool, like, he plays the Coddle, he plays Earth Shaker. He's been
Does he
practicing
play
for
a
it.
position for Invoker?
He has, but not at the level that I think TD will punish him for it. But Nathan's just one of those guys I think is a good gamer, but hasn't played Dota in a while. So he's got a broader pool than he's like Milo, right? Like, just someone coming back into Dota after a while and can pick up heroes. But I think he'll just get punished on it. I think the opportunity cost will be too high, right? I feel like, I don't know, I think that if you think about that AM game that they're able to overcome Jay, and Jay overcame himself, like the Earthshaker did a lot of work, like the lockdown, the stun. You kind of need something similar for Dusa, right? Like, you need to be able to control. There's so much here. You've got a very mobile Void Spirit. You've got a very difficult to kill Medusa. Do you guys think Earthshaker's not the worst pick, given that we know like Nathan plays on it quite strong? His Coddle's banned, his Mirana's banned, so they've really kind of like chopped down his pool.
I think the lucky part is they get last pick, so I guess they can see what they want to pick. But Void Spirit is pretty strong against Earthshaker because you are mobile enough to go try to catch the heroes. It's not like you really want to go onto the Wraith King or Slardar as a Void Spirit because it's hard to burst them down. Yeah. So ideally you want to go onto the Lich Invoker or the support, and whichever is Earthshaker. And if you catch Earthshaker before Earthshaker goes, your effectiveness of the Earthshaker drops significantly compared to if your Earthshaker initiates when you want to initiate.
Yeah, okay. I mean, like, it's looking like it's just going to come down to Darryl's ability to execute, right? Like, it seems like a really stiff ask to fight into a tied Dusa from, like, mid-game onwards, right?
Dire team pick.
Yeah, I agree. So I think he probably needs something with stun, and I guess Earthshaker is one of the better heroes with stun. Otherwise, you really can't run around and fight that easily.
I don't think it's a very good Earthshaker game. Like, Yeah, he can fish or something, but if he echoes, like, it stuns, but like they're also tanky and stuff. You're not gonna.
That's
you're not
You really gotta pick your hero.
And I think
10
they
seconds
need to
left.
win lane and play high tempo here. So Earthshake is a pretty weak laner. And they need
Oh!
Choose your hero.
It is a pause for Invoker. Well done, MZ. That is surprising.
So if if Nate can actually play this, so I think it's pretty good because Invoker versus Voice is not a fun time in lane.
Yeah, I Nathan can play. I've seen him play a number of times, but I've seen him play.
Wait, are we thinking it's Invoker mid?
No, it's Invoker pause 4.
Plus 4.
Yeah, as in before we saw the Bristle, if it was Invoker.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this Bristle is actually pretty good. It allows them to just run at Team 100 friends before they get online.
And Invoker as a support, if you max your spells, like if you don't get Enixor, it's pretty strong, right? Tornado, Deafening Blast, Ice Path, like they're all really strong spells that Medusa doesn't really want to play against. Medusa is like one of those tanks, like I used this analogy before. It's like a big tank, like the World War II tanks. It's slow, but it's heavy damage. So if you target it the right way, it will just die or explode. But if you leave it apart, it will just wreck a lot of things.
So like Invoker provides a lot of utility to just hopefully kite out the Medusa, Tornado him, EMP him.
Yeah, but I think what's really important here is I don't think you can chase Team Hanju again. Like, if you chase them and overextend, you've got Ravage, Jakiro, Willow Brambles, and then a Deuce of Scream as well. If you there's just so much counter-initiate catch. It's pretty terrifying. Like, I feel like you got to execute right. Like, Darryl's really got to boss this game. I feel.
Yeah, it's a pretty similar draft compared to last game. Last game.
Like the disengage is going to be quite hard, and especially last game when they they messed up some of their Centaur ults, or they didn't have it when they needed it most. It really showed.
But I definitely like the Radiant team composition much better than last time because at 25 minutes, like 20-25, I think you can see a Boots, Vanguard, Hood, and Ags on Bristleback, and at that time, like I don't think anyone in the die can really, can do anything to it. And none of them are good break heroes. Like no one has a good break, and no one wants to build Silver Edge, and no one really wants to get Vessel on their team either. Maybe apart from Tim, I guess. But even then, Tim is not a great hero to get Vessel, and you want to get other items. So this Bristleback is probably going to be a handful, and the thing is with die heroes that, like, if you run your Bristleback forward, anyway, they're going top. They're surrounded.
Tide's coming forward.
Gosh. Oh, that's a really good snake. Oh, that's a good catch.
30 seconds.
Invoker dies. First blood going to Tim as well. Oh.
Stu blocking Darryl.
Oh, Stu dying as well. This is 2-0.
Okay, so I have an idea. I'd like to bring in our resident Bristleback mid specialist, Dustin. What do you think?
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
Of course.
Unmute him, someone. Team. Is he oh, here we go.
Oh, my hero.
I was going to say, just before I finish, it's really hard. Like, if you have big ults to stop heroes, it's really, you don't want, as a Tide, you don't want to blow your ult to stop the Bristleback. So, it might pose a bit of a problem. Like, as a Medusa, are you gonna use your ult to prevent the Bristleback coming, or are you gonna just run or something? So, I'm interested to see how they deal with his Bristleback when he gets to his peak power.
Like, they have a lot of disengage. They have, not just Ravage, they have the Willow and the Stone Gaze. And, they're not put on a time here. Team Radiant's on a time, so they don't mind just, playing passive.
But you don't want to use Stone Gaze on just the Bristol coming at you. That's the issue, I think.
Maybe if he's gonna kill you, you might as well.
Sometimes you just have to.
Yeah.
The real moral of the story is don't all chat or draw on the map like Stu was whilst getting ganked. Alright, let's do the lane matchups. So we've got Wraith King and Lich, Stu and Damien reprising their favourite heroes with the Tide Hunter and the Willow. We've already seen 2 kills go the way of the Radiant. I don't know, it feels like it could go either way in terms of kills, right? If Stu gets out of position,
Lich is a strong laner with a melee hero where you're trying to kill someone. So, much stronger lane than last time where he was Lion, and Lion doesn't provide much damage. Lich has a nuke, Lich has Frost Shield, and it slows Pummelon, can run them down. So, and it hits Willow even though he's on Shadow Realm, if he goes Shadow Realm. So, I can definitely see a much better lane this time on the Radiant.
Yeah, but still nothing to sleep on. The Willow with all her spells, and the Tide as well is quite difficult to kill. So, I think they still can't needlessly overextend. Top lane. Disco Pumper already on 30% health, unfortunately, but it's got 4 tangos, which is good. Slider. Nathan playing his Invoker.
They see they're pulling, and getting a pull off to the big camp is really strong as a Dire. Generally, it's the Radiant one that wants to pull to the big camp, and the Dire wants to pull to the small camp. So if they can get that pull off, that's a whole wave. That's
the whole wave being denied. Yeah, you can see that. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta get these up. Last hits. Yeah, and so Jimmy on the Deucer and Casper, who's been playing really well, I feel. Every game I watch Casper, he's like pulling off some pretty gangster shit. So, pretty impressive.
Really great.
Yeah. And in the mid matchup, all we got from Justin was he stole my hero. So if Justin's got more to say, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, if you win the matchup against Void, it's quite an easy matchup. But it's interesting, he went for different builds than what I normally do. So
you normally skip the bottle, eh?
Yeah, I never get bottle because I find the...
You're going nowhere.
But, yeah, it goes.
You guys agree that...
Crave has a lot of practice against Bristle, Voidless Bristle. I've played this matchup against Crave a lot of times. The Crave is very experienced in the Bristle matchup.
Would you say the hood is the most important item in this lane?
Yeah.
I'd say the wand is the most important item.
Oh, okay, I mean on Bristol. Because of our resident expert specialist mid.
Oh, meanwhile, Poppy's actually taking a lot of damage.
Oh, this one
Oh
no, the oldest trick in the book. We all oh no together.
It looks like he's low, but he still has mana shield, so it's effectively not that.
But even that, he wasn't remotely one hit away. I think he had to get the second away. He had to get a bash.
Yeah. Did he have a prime bash? He had a prime bash.
It didn't matter. I think
he was not going to catch
that. Was
missing middle.
Chasing a pipe dream, living on a prayer. I think. And as we speak.
Oh, Nicholas Stark really nearly took the rune away from Darryl.
I think what's been really interesting about Tim's game is rune control. Like he's been so all over the runes, but Darryl finally might be his
I was more impressed that they rotated someone bot to actually try to camp the other rune. That just shows that
that's consistently what they've been doing there. They've been consistently doing that.
So their support's actually doing the good work.
It's a Tide. He's like so tanky. Like you don't mind just leaving him for a bit.
Yeah.
That's Slaughter, man. You can't really.
They're going on him. Red King drops his stun and the front shield. But he's really sustaining through it, and Lich is on literally 62 health. Mango's up.
You gonna get punished for staying around?
Trying to get one more Frost Blast. Stun is back online for the Raid King. But everyone disengages.
Oh, Tim tried to take the bounty top and he missed. Invoker actually went over to take it.
Who had a salve on him? Now he doesn't.
I think he used it just before the hit. And I don't know if it actually helped him survive, but I did hear it. Would you, Justin, would you get Goo in your melee matchups against a melee hero?
Nah. You don't have enough mana.
That's for me.
You're expanding to builds. The current build's right. 3-2-0, 3-2's right.
He's getting a Vanguard first.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So can I ask, Justin, like, other than your infatuation with the mid tower, like, what's the call to action for the Bristle? Like, is there an item? Is there...
Bottom is missing.
Yeah, it's normally after you get your Vanguard pulled and your...
Oh, sorry, I missed a kill. Oh no, Slaughter overextends again. That's unfortunate.
It's not an easy lane for Slaughter, double range.
I mean, but, like, let's look at this. Like, Jimmy's 5.5, Slaughter's 3 3/4.
The thing is, like, while it isn't an easy lane for the Slaughter, he should not die in this lane.
Yeah, he needs to like really safe.
Yeah, you as a Slaughter in this lane, you want to get as much farm out of it as possible. It's when you get your ult where you then become scary, and then that's when you start to pressure on.
And I think what Ryan's done really well that he wasn't doing in the scrims, he hasn't fed really in TD, has he? Like in the scrims, I remember he was going like 0 and 10 and 0 and 8, but he's like played really well and really held his own in the off lane, but he's just got to make sure he doesn't let that one slip in this game.
Yeah.
It can be frustrating playing this lane.
100%.
And I think it's a bit luckier this game. They're not relying.
Gonna go in mid and that's the Bristle dead. Oh my gosh.
I think I actually.
You need to get the regen. A lot of them do anything. You need like sustainable regen.
Yeah, he needs sustainable regen.
Double ring or something like that. He died because he was on a, you know, like 40%.
Like basically, when you get the Soul Ring, the Vanguard, the Hood, you can just ignore whoever's in the you just flash farm. Like you take all the damage, they do nothing.
And he gets
going the ball was a mistake.
I like this deep ward place by team. He knows that Briss is gonna try to farm CRAM. Maybe even Slaughter work because it's behind. Oh, that should kill.
Oh,
Copycat.
Copycat, that must have been a misplay there.
Must have been, I completely abandoned that lane because I thought there was nothing gonna happen there.
Maybe a little bit of miscommunication from the
Shakira was quite back when the death must have been so
Missing bottom.
Tide's got his 6 up, his Soul Ring, and he's almost at his phase boost. Bristle's going into farm the small camp, but they fought him out, and they're going to try and give him a bit of help for it. 2 stacks on the Void.
And they can't kill him.
Oh no.
Oh,
That's really
Reho
hurting.
doesn't have H.
Yeah.
Reho also doesn't have mana left.
Yeah.
And they see the stack as well.
Yeah.
He has a 14.
Oh, Ravage dropped.
Oh, actually, look, just keep your eyes on this. It's interesting to see what happens because they took the stack. He's trying to take the stack. The enemies are coming. He's going to get damage. And he's going to do a lot of damage from his.
You know what? Reho has expertly navigated that. Can he get away? Oh! Not bad! And who dies first? I'm pretty sure Tim gets the kill.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because
It's a kill, but Darryl gets more gold.
How can you cool spray when your hero dies?
No. He turns it back, and so the hit.
So the Bristle back, yeah.
Back,
Release.
it procs real
so
hard.
he dies as the quill
No,
leaves
but like-
his dying body and then eventually lodges itself into the neck of Tim, causing
But like,
fatal.
you died. How can you proc when you already died?
No, as you die.
As he died, he sent it out.
It's like the Shadow Fiend ult.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Weird mechanics.
But if you look at that mid lane matchup, we got 49 net last hits to 38 on the Void. Not a massive disparity. If it's meant to be an easy lane, and the net worth is almost equivalent, like 2
Middle is missing.
But they're going top. They're going on to Disco Pumper. Disco Pumper is.
Tower's under attack.
I think Tim will be happy with that trade though. He came out with like
Interesting stone gate.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's what it is.
That's what we call an intimidatory stone case.
Need to speed to catch up with the starter, maybe.
Oh, you get the movement speed.
Yeah, the 50%. But I don't know. I think normally you don't level stone gates when you're having a free lane like this.
Maybe he's gonna be
But this?
Yeah.
Well, he used stone gates last time when he died.
Oh, did he?
So yeah. So I was really surprised at how he died because he had no more mana left, or he had stone. Again.
Once the
Oh, this is where Drew's gonna be quite useful. Oh, interesting. He's trying to. Wait, what? He didn't quite just die. This is that. He just needs one more Goo.
I mean, that's what I'm saying about this Willow, this Shakira, this Tide. There's so much disengaged for their team, right? Like, even if the Bristle's coming at you, surely you can kite him to some extent.
Missing bottom.
I think Darryl right now is just being a nuisance.
Yeah,
But
but I
he's
think
causing
Tim
so many
misplayed.
rotations, yeah.
But Tim misplayed because if Tim just left, they didn't have to rotate 2 heroes.
I think they were
He
already
wasn't gonna
fine.
queue
Tim
up.
just thought like he might have had a good potential and then like go with the Shakira coming. But
Is the rotation that big a deal? I mean, like, both their lanes are doing well enough that their supports can really sit here with the mid lane.
I think there's always
it
things
definitely
you can do.
helps.
Like
There might be
stack, right?
like right now there might be a kill at 100.
Can't you suppress his E? Just kill the skeletons. Reduce his damage.
Around my neck. You'll be
He should not have died there. He just used his anchor smash. That's the greatest strength of the Tide versus Wraithing, right? He just anchor smash
Tire's
his
bottom tower's under attack.
Yeah,
Look at that
skeletons.
bot tower get absolutely chonked down. That's ridiculous. That's gone. Blink
Going
and you
top,
miss
going
it.
top, going top. Slaughter's still trying to kill. Good ice
Oh,
pump.
he has been across the cosmos. I've seen a ton of different realities.
I'm
Let me
a
tell
little
you.
worried here that they
This
just won't
is
have
definitely
the tools to
not
deal with,
a remarkable
bristleback.
moment at all.
Anyone
We're gonna
also
shut
gonna
Tire's
be
bottom
desolate.
tower.
I mean, I think if the game calls for it, Medusa can technically get a Silver Edge.
Yeah, that's true.
Not
That's
the
true.
worst item.
Oh, yeah, I actually think it's not bad because your Daedalus, yes, it does damage, but it doesn't do that much damage. It's not like a night and day difference. And Silver Edge is a pretty strong item. It gives you a guaranteed crit. Oh, they're invading the jungle. I like this move. They Dire blocks the Radiant camp, so Radiant's just on the stacks of Dire. Like that.
I love these things.
Tim does scout out these big stacks on Radiant side with his board.
Yeah, Nathan is a serial stacker.
Wait, Stu saw the rune on Darryl? Oh my. What is going on?
Oh, nice
Legend 2 plays, guys.
Legend
Legend 2 plays.
Oh my. I think this is what happens when you don't really play a different role. Like, you don't know the importance of getting a body one.
Look at this. Look at this.
They're stacking as well. Are they going to defend it?
Yeah, it's a stack
Do you guys
trade.
think they're going to defend it? So
I reckon.
Disco Pumper is not going up. So he's going up now. He has a blink, so he might see them.
They take the small stack, but they're not ready to take that big stack.
Yeah.
So Boots of Travel's coming up.
Actually, going in. Tim's going in. Oh, okay. Never mind.
So Boots of Travel here coming up on Crave. Do you think you'll be playing that rat game to try to skip out on the BB timing?
Yeah, maybe. But I think alternatively, you just try to force fights while you let the Medusa farm.
Oh, Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Because I think if you're Radiant, like, if you feel like you're not winning against the Medusa, then you want to force fights early and take towers early. And then split pushing, I guess, kind of works, but you can always defend that by having one hero there or something.
Yeah, but I think that's the play though from Cray's side. Like, they know they don't want to fight they don't want to fight the bristleback, so they're trying to get as much out of it as possible.
So Daryl's just trying to run at this Medusa, but his team's not really following up with him. He's just down here, right?
He just has a Vanguard as well. It's not like he has a board either.
He's dead. He's skipping the wood at the BB trade. You're pretty much near unkillable when you have one.
Team needed to back him up there, but Code did a good job splitting them up.
He has 2,000 gold. I'm just to see what he gets.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, he could have got something by now. If he wanted the hood, he couldn't get the hood like maybe half a minute to a minute ago, at the very least.
He was contemplating travels to match Code's travels.
Let's talk
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
In the absence of a hood, what are the other alternate items for Darryl? And when do they start looking for that fight?
I guess Mags is probably one of them.
Maybe a Shroud, if not a hood. Oh no, they're using all the spells on illusion.
Deep investment.
I mean, the fact that they went Slaughter makes me think that he wants to go a negative one.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Potentially there'll be this timing where he'll have his Ags.
They're going to Darryl again, going mid. Again, he doesn't have a hood, so
no
he's
one
just
around
gonna get bursted down.
That Willow magic damage is actually insane.
Yeah.
He just dies again.
I think that's
Ravage. Watch the Ravage.
Oh.
Here he comes.
Oh, Converted Chain Frost.
That was a very unlucky bouncer change. He hit on the first
Oh, Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, it's just that you can't fight into that, right? You can't overextend uphill into that lineup. It's just
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He needs to slow down a bit because his team's not keeping up with the bristleback space. So they're just like jerking off on the illusion over here while he's wearing in.
Oh, Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Think how much do you guys think about psychology and like frustration and being triggered and that affecting their play?
Wait, Radiant's bottom tower is
like
completely gone.
From the first game. I think if you're cool, calm, and collected, like looking at this line, looking at the hero they're playing and thinking about what can kill you, I think a hood is usually the safe bet, and then
exactly.
I mean, tilt can go both ways. I find that when we trigger Justin, sometimes it brings out fucking Vegeta. So I think Darryl can.
Oh, Darryl. Oh, going the right direction. Yes.
He's still very tanky, right? I don't think
you don't
get overconfident. That's where they're going to kills on it.
Oh, they got
Dyer's top tower's under attack.
They don't have enough lockdown.
I think like Dyer here, I'm very happy with the way the game's going.
Dyer's
What
top
the
tower's under
scary thing
attack.
is usually at this point is the Bristleback is taking 4 to 2 1 tower. The fact that mid still stands and the Bristleback has died means that he is likely to not hit his time. The clock is ticking. Like I don't see him getting anywhere near. I mean, he could get the Ags out in like 3-4 minutes. And, like,
They're going to Hanju, just going to top. Hanju just walks out. Definitely blast. Hanju still keeps walking out. Nice path, a bit late. Oh, there's a chain frost.
They commit the chain frost.
Radiant's middle
Don't
tower
mind
is
that.
under
I
attack.
think
But they're getting the mid tower in return.
all things considered,
Oh
yeah,
man, what?
that's a
Get up on
win.
out of here,
W.
because Radiant just fortified
They can
their
get 5
structures.
people up top.
Dyer's top
Try and get
tower's
mid
under
tower
attack.
and Puppy Cast is free
Radiant's
farming.
middle
I
tower
think
is
they're
under
happy with
attack.
this.
Medusa is way ahead of everyone in levels.
Dyer's top tower is under
I
attack.
think once the Medusa gets to study here, it's going to be really scary.
Not my
for us.
problem.
Oh, hey, hey.
Wow,
Top
he just
tower
stunned
fell.
TP's in front of the
He's right in
slider.
front of him. Anyway, they're going to top. They're going on to the last word.
It seems like you're pulling the Bristleback away from his teammates. Why is he fight on?
Tim's kind of by himself, but he has no more jumps now. He was,
That is not even
Disengage.
Willow
oh,
ult.
this guy.
The Willow ult.
Ray Ho.
It's just so hard to chase them, right? And
He's the
Tim's,
ray of hope.
Tim is
Oh,
splitting
Radiant's
these
bottom
fights
tower is under attack.
masterfully, right? Like,
Yeah,
he's
that
taking
was
3
brilliant.
heroes, or he's taking the Bristle to himself, and so that strategy where the Bristle's meant to be, you know, the
Radiant's bottom tower
pinnacle
is
of your
under
pyramid
attack.
coming forward at you.
Oh boy,
Like,
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Darryl.
I feel like Darryl just really wants to kill Tim.
Yeah, it's really
He hasn't bought a single. I saved up
He's
some-
3,800 gold just now. What's he thinking about? Maybe a rapier? Even if he's going rapier, he
don't
could
tell
still
me,
get the
don't
red
tell
lane.
me he's going for the Radiant. I think he might actually be going for the Radiant.
That's a two.
I think that's just a straight up loss.
He didn't even queue it up, like, in his career, his item. Maybe he's trying to think he can win the game without buying items after the Vanguard.
Okay.
That's a possibility. This is a really rough game. I look at this, I can almost say this is like a 90-95% chance of Dyer winning.
Ooh, cast the curse.
Oh, I know. But I just can't see any way that Radiant comes back. Like,
No,
the
let's do it.
Bristleback,
What are the two? Like, what do we need to do for the Radiant to come? Let's problem solve that, right?
I don't know.
Okay, let's start with the Bristle. Yeah, here we go. We got the Ags. So the Ags is only 200 gold away, I think, or about 400 gold away, right?
So I think there is a window here, right? Because they do have a negative armor on their side. So the Axe comes up on the Bristle, the Desolator comes up on the Wraith King, and you have the Slider around. Hopefully with the Shard, you do have this potential of just deleting heroes. So if they play this right, they'll have a window where they can start deleting the supports before they can move this back. And I think they need to take that engagement really well. They need to execute it really well. It's going to come down to the next 10 minutes of execution from the Radiant side to get back in this game.
I think the big problem here is that the Slider's kind of paper, right? So he's just going to be an amp and then a death. The BKB for the Wraith King is another, 3,000 gold away, which is not ideal. But the Ags is incoming for the Bristle. So
they're going top. Just the top.
Oh,
for a sec.
this could be-
oh, there you go.
There's the top.
Yeah. I mean, if they can keep doing that, if you lose the Willow, you lose the Tide.
Oh,
if you lose
Radiant's
the
top
Kira,
tower is under attack.
it buys the time that you need for Radiant to get that BKB. By the time the BKB's online, Bristle's got his next item. You're not that mid-game like tour de force that you'd hope to be, but at least you're something that allows you to come up against perhaps a Medusa-less lineup. Like Medusa's still going to be farming a Skadi and then probably one item.
You made the right point there. So it's the Medusa that you're not keeping check if you don't damage it. Actually, Tim's just gone in.
The thing is though, if you manage to kill everybody...
Actually, just hold on that thought. They're going in, but no, they're not. And Jimmy's coming to the fights now. Do you catch this go pumper? Right, there's a lot of ults coming out. Medusa. Yeah, that's they killed Darryl. Red King, I think now I think people should start retreating. Oh, Jimmy, triple kill already. I think with the Skadi, this doesn't look so good.
See, I feel like the Invoker's not really present. right? Like, we spoke about them not having enough damage because they had the Invoker, they had the magic damage. We just saw like ideal ice blast,
Radiant
right?
just
Like,
fortified their
frost blast, like, whatever it is,
structures.
called.
You know what I'm talking
Anything
about?
else?
Yeah,
No, Chain Frost.
Chain Frost.
Chain
We saw
Frost.
ideal Chain Frost, like max bounces. We saw Invoker drop the meatball. Unfortunately, Ryan absolutely shanked the stun and didn't have anything else really in the fight to provide.
Here's the problem. You mentioned Invoker, right? Typically, when you play position for Invoker, you want to be going Quas away. So that's the build that allows you to take space, allows you to fight early, allows you to Nathan here is going Nathan here is going a sort of a super hybrid build where you've got 2 points in quads, 4 points in Wex, 4 points in Exort. Almost like a Wex Invoker, but that doesn't really exist for a position 4. And
Yeah,
I feel like
why is he
that
holding
is
up Sunstrike? Like, what
Yeah,
value is Sunstrike gonna add?
You only take 1 point extra for that value.
Yes. Yeah, just to
then-
create a Deafening Blast.
Yeah, you want to max the Wex, like you said, for that definitely pass disarm and
just
the
going- looking
EMP.
at
Smoke
1 second,
pops
looking
in.
mid. They're going on to Darryl. They're just they're surrounding him. The rest of the team is kind of just looking at him. They use Chain Frost. Chain Frost now.
Chain Frost.
Oh, Darryl's walked out.
Chain Frost.
Who's out? Oh, they got. Oh, that's a good job on Tim.
Oh, is it enough that he's getting away?
Oh, he's getting away to blink.
2 seconds. 1 second to one of them. Yeah.
Oh, there we go again.
There he goes again.
He's just
Slippery Tim.
he's too slippery, isn't he?
That's for me.
I think at this stage you would wonder, like, is it time for Tim to start getting a vessel?
But I mean,
I don't think so. I don't think Bristle's that much of an issue right now.
Yeah, right now, like.
Oh, I don't know. If they had the vessel, they would have just killed the Bristle back there, and then.
Yeah, but like they don't have to because like he's not running over your team, and if that's not happening, like the Medusa's just free farming.
I think if someone was to do it,
it's not like I disagree with that point, but they took 4 people and went to initiate on Bristol back by himself. So, in Tim's mind, there must be a reason why that they did that.
They have a Skadi on Medusa. Like I don't think you need to invest a vessel on someone who doesn't normally like playing it.
two
You always
things.
get the Axe kill the back line.
Two things. In that last fight, that Chain Frost that just bounced between 2 heroes forced the disengage, right? It showed that like when they were able to output that damage really rapidly onto Tim, they had to split and leave. And the second thing is that Wraith King is kind of doing the same build again, like we all
For the
do.
treasury.
Should he be keeping it the blink after BKB, or does he need to pick up some more damage?
I think he needs the blink. It's very hard to walk into that team.
So like
But
the
he
weak
definitely
condition,
does need a BKB as well, because if he just blinks, like, it's also very hard to fight. So that's why he's going to BKB first before the blink.
I think the win condition here, honestly, though, is that
They're going top. They're going to Damien. The Gush is coming out. Just surrounded, and they force rotations. All 4 people from here. Even Jimmy's here as well. They're going on. Sliders running in. Medusa's actually caught between 5 heroes. And Medusa's just zoning them out.
They can't do it.
like the only way they're gonna win.
They got the reincarnation off. Meatball's coming out. Ice Plant. Oh, Rayho, that was a good that he was gonna do. Brambles.
Crowd control is too much, right? Like, you dodge the brambles, you're into the ult of the Willow, you dodge that, you got Jakiro coming with Ice Path and Magpie, you dodge that, you got Deuce's Scream, you dodge that, you've got Ravage.
Oh boy,
right? And if you dodge all of that, you've got Tim. It's just too much crowd control, and you saw that fight where I think it was actually really good that the Radiant and the Die was split up in like 3 different spots, but they just
I can just look at bot. They're going to Tim, or they're going to Darryl. One of them. They're fighting around each other. Tim doesn't have any more charges, by the way. But Darryl. I mean,
Wow, right.
Yeah. Who's the medicine to do, right?
and I just I got sent a stat from our stats man. One player on the Die has more kills than the whole Radiant team. And it's a support. 807. Anyway, just hold that sort back in. Disco Pumper getting pumped.
They're just tanking
Going
that
in.
bitch out, doesn't no damage.
The bramble stops him. Otherwise, that was going to getting pumped.
It's like, you know what?
Now
It's like Radiant is playing the hardest obstacle course in their life. They're literally sidestepping brambles, dodging the catch from the Void Spirit, dodging the Ice Bud, and they're failing to do that.
I look at solo kill by Tim onto Bristleback.
Is this where the Immortals go GG next?
Yeah, I think so. This is where they're defending themselves, right?
Yeah, 97% probability.
So like, yeah, I think like Darryl will be sufficiently prepared for this upcoming final fight.
You gotta say the MV, like special call out to Casper for just playing so above his MMR. Bullshit MMR. But the MVP has to be Tim's drafting, right? Like he's absolutely killed at these games back to back. He's baited this like auto pick Wraith King. Like you saw the confidence they picked the Wraith King within like a millisecond, and you can just see Tim like cackling to himself while they do that. It's just such a meme. It's so impressive.
I think
Darryl playing checkers or Tim's playing chess.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Like Tim normally is pretty lazy when it comes to draft preparation, but I think he really sweated it out against Darryl.
I reckon that changed
he said
last
that.
TD.
He said that.
I reckon the last TD finals you saw that he really does that. Like he changed. He used to just be like, whatever, I can solve the solution to my gameplay. But his drafting really stepped up. He does his research.
Tim did say he was putting a lot of time into doing the research, and I think when we talk about MVPs, I would say generally it's the drafter, whoever drafts a game and whoever calls out the game, how the game's played, is generally probably the MVP, because it's a lot of times it's not like a play of what that wins the game. It's more like the general idea of how you want to play a game that wins the games, and I think this drafting just showed like your Medusa can't get killed, walks in, slows everyone down.
Yeah.
Does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But
Second pick carry.
Yeah, but to that point again, like I think you still gotta, even if you take into account the skill levels, right? Like I think it's unfair to always give the MVP to the best player. Like Tim outsmarted like Darryl, right? Like he's really played even uphill, right? Like,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Like outside of I guess the drafting, I would have to give my MVP to Raider. He is the exception.
Just looking at top, they're going on to the Bristleback, while Tim's just playing around bot with the Wraith King. Now they disengage. I guess what I mean is like, if you're talking about most valuable player, like generally like at this stage of the game, I think a draft kind of wins the game and loses the game for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're talking about the most, like, I guess it's more, what I mean is valuable, as in, like, how valuable you are to winning the game.
Yeah.
I think it's generally direction. Because I have to say, this drafting has solved all the issues, and they're going on to Wraith King. Oh, that's a good chamber.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Anyway, they're going in. Wraith King used Reincarnation. They killed the Twin Head Dragon with the Chain Frost bouncers, unfortunately, but now they're going to Bristleback. The Lich Frost Shield is used on the Bristleback, so they're forcing him back. They still have the Aegis on Medusa.
To your point, Ray, the other thing about Ray, other Ray, you know, deep voice, sexy Ray, is that, like, his pool has been so impressive. The way he's, like, Kenny was talking about the other day, like, the kind of support roles he's been playing has been so impressive. Like, the guy is
looking top. They're going on to the Void Spirit. Void Spirit uses his Dissimulate. They see him, that vision of him. So this might be a change. That's a pretty big crit.
Way to go! Radiant's bottom tower is completely gone.
For it?
Yeah, they can't defend that tower anyway. So
who knows? Tim might bite back, die, and throw. This happened.
It is a spirit after all.
I mean, you gotta say that one of your strats against Tim has to be, when you're so behind, is to find Tim, kill him, and then try and guess where he's gonna come back, right? But yeah, I think Ray's just been like, it's just been, that team's almost unfair, right? You got Jimmy, who's seamlessly transitioned to like one of the best carries. You got Tim, who's just been running rings around everyone, and then you got Ray, who's like easily the best 4 in the tournament. Like,
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It is a bit of an imba draft. Of players.
It's insane. Like, I mean, you know, power to them. They made it work. But Ray can play any hero from 4. It's just so impressive. He's like the Jerax of TD. It's just really cool to watch. I just think back at those scrims where he just picked up Weaver and was just like running rings around us. I know it's in the meta, but like no other 4 has got that kind of depth, like seamless depth. I mean, obviously if Devo played 4 or whatever, but I'm just saying any 4 in TD can do that.
Yeah, I've seen his Razor 4 as well. Somehow
Razor 4.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the other thing, like, yeah, again, like, Ray, you could probably do that from 4 again, but you're playing a 3, right? So I'm just saying, like, it's just...
Oh, you meant the Razor the hero.
Oh, Razor.
Yeah.
I have been doing some coaching to Ray to give him some tips on some heroes.
Well, whatever it is, it shows, man. Been killing it. And Casper as well, like, Casper, like, if he's meant to be some kind of anchor, that's horse shit, right? Like, he's playing so well, like, on the heroes, like, maybe the strategy against this team has to be to ban out some of those, like, puddles, right? Like, just...
They've just gone up high ground by himself. And now Jimmy...
Jimmy actually plays carry better than the other players.
I do want to... just people, oh, go into Ravage, can't you? Wow, it's the Ravage. They killed one hero instantly and Smoke is nearly dead. So Disco Pump has his BKB and he's nearly dead as well. Killed Darryl. And I think we have ourselves... I do want to say though, like, the Dire team has been really effective in just giving Jimmy farm. Because I don't feel like Jimmy has been pressured in most of these games.
No, he's had space every time.
Well, there you go.
He's never had to turn up. He's had that luxury, so... I full respect to Jimmy. I think he's playing like an absolute gangster. He's obviously an incredible player.
There goes Radiant
Like
top
him
barracks.
and Ray and Casper
Radiant's top barracks have
Punju.
fallen.
They're really... Like, how many games have we watched now where, like Jimmy's absolute AFK farming while he's actually providing everything?
Radiant's middle tower is destroyed.
Team to beat? Who's gonna beat him?
Middle barracks are getting attacked.
We'll be the ones.
Radiant's middle barracks.
I mean, we saw, I think Team MG beat him once. I think Team
Radiant's middle barracks
Milo
are as good as
took a game from him, so they're not undefeatable. But they're really hitting their strides at the back end here. I think they really understand their game and they really understand their draft. So I think it's going to be very...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Knockout.
Radiant's bottom tower.
The thing here is, like, basically, if you see the way they're drafting now, they get Jimmy the second pick, they get him into the like, and that seems to be the draft, and they utilize the versatility of
I didn't think Radiant's bottom barracks would be
allow
that quick.
Oh man.
second, third phase. So...
Who paused the game?
Because they're disconnected.
What just happened?
But yeah, like they're just picking this late game hyper carry that can just rise away, and then the rest of the thing just makes space for him.
What just happened?
What in the world's going on? Oh, right. Someone GG'd and then I think they thought the game was going to
Hey, I'm just throwing this out there, but Dire has
Morty,
mega
look who
creeps.
came back. I guess
Gotta
their
look
little
after those game
disconnection was
stats.
just a
Alright,
minor
well that's a 2-0.
inconvenience.
That's pretty terrifying, I gotta say. If I'm the other teams in the tournament, I'm gonna be thinking about how to beat this team because they are looking like the OG of the tournament. They're looking like the LGD of the tournament, to be honest. They're rising hard. They're mid
I think they drafted well these games, and I don't know why teams do banned out the Grimshack first phase. That's quite interesting.
Could have been a Rayho, man. He plays Grim.
Yeah, but was it worth it to give up
is it worth a first phase ban? Like,
Yeah,
probably not.
That Bristol back last pick.
No, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't matter because they were going to auto pick the Wraith King, and no matter what, they were not looking to ban the Deuce for the PL. They didn't see the PL coming. They didn't see the Deuce.
Well, as in game 2, they banned the PL, so maybe they would have expected them to pick like Jimmy's hero again. So another hyper carry like Medusa.
I don't know.
Do you guys want to move channel? Half the people queue.
It'll raise you. Oh, everyone's come back anyway.
Yeah, we did that.
Hello.